Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Welcome, everyone, to another amazing episode of Referrals Podcast. Today, we are going to dive deep into the TLC tribe. Whoa, what is that? Well, you're going to have to watch and listen to learn. And I'm telling you right now, today, we talk all the time about like self-mastery, relationship mastery, event mastery, all fits within the referral mastery system. Well, what about these things that underlie all three of those things? And that is energy. And that is vibration, and that is where you're coming from. And today, we're going to talk about raising your vibration. We're going to finally taking control of your personal energy. Could you imagine, like, taking control of it? And then how do you change your energy? I mean, here's the thing. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. So I'm telling you right now, how you feel when you're listening to this podcast or watching this podcast is energy. It's based on your energy. And also, you're putting out an energy. We're also putting out an energy. I always talk louder when I start the podcast. Always. It's just so funny. It's like we were just having this conversation off air and just talking about how do we make this the biggest win for you. And we were talking about how similar we are with some of our backgrounds. And her name's Tracy L. Clark and mine's Michael J. Maher. And it's like, where'd the middle initial get started? Well, because the domain was taken by somebody else that we wanted. And it's like, well, we'll just add the initial, and that domain was open, and the rest is history, right? But it's one of those where, why do I get so up on the pod? Because you know what? We're changing lives with this podcast. I'm talking to you, and you know what? What if I came in like, hey, welcome to Referrals Podcast. Where's the energy in that? There's no energy in that right now. Some people are attracted to that and that level of energy. That's good for them. That's not this podcast. That's not me. I tend to generate a lot of energy because I love life. I love you. And I love my listeners and viewers. And here's the thing. I love doing these podcasts because I get to meet great people like this. So bottom line, today might be the most mind-blowing, game-changing, life-changing podcast that you ever listen or watch, if you'll let it be. If you'll let this truly get into the heart and soul of who you are, you could change your life today. And I'm here for it. I'm excited about that, aren't you? So we're going to cut right to it. I have to give a quick shout out to Julie Oakes, though. I spoke in New Hampshire earlier this year, and it was one of the first presentations I had done for 2 years because of COVID and the pandemic and everything else. Well, she instantly signed up for Referral Mastery Academy, which one of the first classes she took was 30 Mornings, our morning ritual program. She designed her own ultimate morning ritual for the first time in her life. And she wrote this very heartfelt, long, amazing post on Facebook. And an excerpt of it is, Michael, thank you for Jen, and thank you for 30 Mornings. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the accountability. Thank you especially for being people who share my heart. You are not only changing my business, you're affecting change in my life. And you know what? That's what ReferCo and me, I'm like dropping the mic with this moment, right? It's like, that's what ReferCo and myself are all about. We're not here to like charge you a bunch of money and take a bunch of advantage of you as far as classes and courses and all that kind of thing. You know what? We only have life-changing courses, trainings, and events. That's all we do. We just want to help you change your life. Can we change your life? We can't change your life. But you know what we can do? We can help you change your own life. And I love Julie's comment because it was a couple of sentences that just said it all. The other thing I have to tell you is we have an opportunity to change your life, which is RMS 22. You're going to hear a lot about it. I'm telling you, every time you listen to the podcast for the next 2 months, it's going to be Referral Mastery Summit 22. I have to tell you, we brought on an exclusive premier sponsor, AmeriFirst. We're very, very happy with AmeriFirst Mortgage being our brought to you by sponsor, exclusive premier. We love them, one of the top mortgage companies in the country. And the thing is check out rms22.com. Come meet all these amazing people, CRT, certified referral trainers who are coming from all over the earth to come and teach you the referral mastery system the way they do it. different strokes for different folks. One of them are going to align with you. You're going to take off, and the fourth quarter will be your best fourth quarter. The next year will be your best year ever. We're here for it. I appreciate you. And speaking of best year ever and best ever, I have to introduce our guest today. Tracy L. Clark is a high-performance energy coach and the founder and creator of the Body Regeneration Academy. After years in the corporate world, she realized it was like selling her soul to the devil day in and day out. So what she did, she sold her company at age 26 to one of Canada's largest publicly traded companies, took a leap of faith, and decided to dedicate her life to helping others find their dream lives. You see why I had her on here? I'm telling you. She now serves on a global level, helping people transition their lives to one they know they should be living, not one they have been programmed to live. She is a teacher, international speaker, inspirational leader, and a humanitarian. With her newly released books, God, Where Are You? It's Me, TLC, 31 Days of Prayer, and 31 Days of Prayers and Affirmations, Tracy hopes that you will see the greatness within you, let go of the fear inside, and follow your inner knowing. Let's all please welcome to Referrals podcast, TLC herself, Tracy L. Clark. Welcome.
I'm really thrilled to be here because you said it really well. We can show the tools and things we've learned, and energy is a big topic for a lot of people, but you know what? And it's different. It is different. But when it incorporates, you said it well, when you do the tools, you will change your life. And this is, you remove the fear, you'll change your life. So I'm so happy to be here with all of you today.
Well, I have to tell you, I love that because everybody says time is the most precious asset. And I say, listen, we all get 24 hours. So is it really the most precious? I mean, we all get it. Yeah, we get 24 hours a day and we only have so much time to live, but we all get kind of a similar amount. And it's like, no, I truly believe the most precious asset is energy. I really believe we only have so many hours of energy a day. And some people don't even have hours. They just have moments of energy. And this is such an important topic. For me in my life, where I'm at, I'm just reading all about energy, and that's how we came about you. Is great author, great speaker, great leader, great YouTubes, great great energy about energy. What a concept. So I have to tell you, I know there's a lot of podcasts out there where they're like, well, tell me your life history. And then at the 5 minutes at the end, they actually get into the strategic, the tools, and the what I would consider like the good stuff. Do I love hearing stories? Sure. But I'm also like, give me something to do. Give me a strategy. Give me a tool. So I have to tell you, I'm going right to the punch with the very first question. And then we'll take it from there. Are we good with that? You good with that?
I'm fine. You know what? I'm all about tools. If you watch my stuff or read the books, they're not normal. They're about the tools. How can we get you on your feet now? Yeah.
That's right. And you're preaching to me. I mean, I love your stuff. I love where you're from. And I tell you, I'll make this a very quick thing, but it totally goes into what I love about your stuff is that I was in a room with Tony Robbins and it was a green room before we both went and speak, which is an awkward situation anyway. And plus, he's like 6 feet taller than I am. Like he's 12 feet tall and this big. and it's just like he is a room taker. He takes up it's just and I'm a pretty big guy. He's a humongous guy. But we're in this conversation and I'm just going to shortcut it that he basically believes, and I do too, that you can change your life in one of three ways, right? You can change your state, which is stand up instead of sitting down, walk instead of standing, and change your state, right? Stand up, do the power pose and that kind of thing. And then you can change your story, right? So I had a story about celebrations that used to mean drinking, it used to mean cake, it used to mean cookies. And now celebrations are hanging out with my family and, eating good food and drinking water and that kind of thing, staying a healthy celebration versus just a celebration. And the third is you can change your life through strategy, right? And those three, and it's just so funny. He's really on state, and where he was in his life, it made a lot of sense that state was his thing. And I go, all right, so how do I change my state? And so he started to describe it. All right, stand up. So I stood up. And then he goes, all right, put your hands on your hips, put your hand up. And then like, I want you to stick your chest out and your shoulders back. And I want you to stand there. And I want you to think that you're a superhero for like 3 minutes.
I know that one.
So,
Yep.
so I'm standing there and I'm like, damn, I actually feel like a superhero. You know, I did feel good. I was like, da, 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 bam, you know, and it was like, you know what? That actually helped. But I go, here's what's interesting about that, Tony, is it was interesting that to change my state, I first needed a strategy to change the state. So which came first, the state or the strategy? You know, and it's like, that's what I love about your stuff is it's strategic. It's tactical, not just like, hey, feel better because you should, you know. And I just, all right. So first question right out of the bat is there's this thing called vibration, right?
Yep.
And they say, I don't know who says it, but I've read it,
Yep.
but we all vibrate at different frequencies, right? And we really want to vibrate at a higher frequency. Yes? Right?
Absolutely.
So, and if I butcher this, you just correct the heck out of me. And my listeners are definitely ready and like very familiar with people correcting me on there. So, but how do you raise? I mean, isn't this like the question? I mean, how do you raise your vibration?
This is actually the number one question, and I get it all the time in the energy world, because right away, the teaching out there, and I have to backtrack this so you can understand how to raise a vibration. We've been programmed from conception to 13, right, by your parents' family paradigms, and then the authoritative bodies. Everybody knows that. So, well, most people know that. The authoritative bodies, right, their systems, their programming. So we get in these vibrations, and then we move within them. And then we look and say, I want something better. I want something different. Now I'm going to give you guys a few practical tools you can do, but I'm going to put a warning on them because they're going to sound really simple. And I love simplicity. I love things you can do on the street, but your vibration will change. And this is something that you must understand that very few people talk about. When your vibration goes to a higher frequency, most people go vibration to attract what? Better business, maybe a relationship they want, different friends. But as soon as you raise the vibration, this whole life that isn't matching it's going to have to change. Now, the reason I say that is because I like tools that are simple, but people will get into panic sometimes because they're like, they want this, but now your vibrational state raises, so you're going to have to get rid of something. Usually it's a block. It's a resistance, we call it. So one of the things this is people, the reason I call it the body regeneration method, so people understand, is your body's always telling you what's going on. People go, oh, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to God, universe, divine, whatever you want to call it, whatever, pokeroo, I don't care. Then you got Mother Earth people talk about, they meditate. Well, nobody talks about the body. Okay. These energies are going through you all the time. Every organ is communicating to the body going through you. So it's actually very important to know. So when you are actually, the first thing is getting the awareness of how you feel every morning. If you want to change your vibration, first thing before you get out of bed, tune in with yourself. Hey, how do I feel this morning? You know, some people are like, oh, I really got to go to the coffee shop. Okay, well, you know, that's not good. If you can't get out of bed with a cup of coffee, we know there's something low in the vibration that your body doesn't want to deal with that day. So it's the awareness is, how do I feel first? And then I want you to, if you spend 24 hours doing this or 36 hours and write it down, I'm telling you, Michael, they'll come back to you and go, oh my word, 36 hours. How do I feel today? And just first say, how do I feel when I'm around this person? How do I feel when I'm around this person? How do I feel when I'm going to work? And truthfully, how do I feel? What that's going to do is get you in touch with your vibration. So if you say, truthfully, I got out of bed today, truthfully is a word that changes your vibration. People don't talk like that. If you say, truthfully, I got out of bed today, I felt really happy. And then I went to work and I ran to my boss and, oh my God, I'm miserable. Now you've just taken on their energy, which I'll teach you a different thing to get rid of that. But now you see how they changed your vibration. They lowered it. Most people in authoritative figures, to keep you less than, their job has been to lower your vibration. So when you actually get up, that's the first step. So you now are more in tune with the energy of your own body. Because the more you get into gratitude, play, and love, right? We know that's the core key of creating and manifesting. A lot of people are more in grumpy mode. We see it a lot, right? And grumpy mode lowers your vibration. Not saying you can't have a bad day. I'm not saying that at all. So that's where you start. Then what you actually want to do, and it's literally, so what we do as humans, for people that may not understand this, is if you looked at yourself, we have thousands and thousands of little acupuncture points on our body. People take acupuncture, you know, they're like chakra points. If you look at them, it's energy coming out of your body. So what happens is a lot of times when you go out and somebody lowers the vibration, it's like putting a hole in your system, which makes you feel less than. So the first key is to actually keep the system nice and strong. So I say to people, see who feels like they're bringing your vibration. And this is what you do before you go out in the day. It's very simple, actually, but it works great. I always say to people, like, put a circle on your chest with your name on it. If you need to write it, put it there, but visualize it there. And the heart, I call it the heart drive, because your heart drive tells every organ what's going. It's not actually your brain. It's your heart is communicating up and down to the brain. So when the body goes out or you have a mishap, it's coming from the heart. So then what you do is you repeat this. It's a great little saying. I am certain, without a shadow of a doubt, I love myself. Say your full name. You can say more than anything in the world, or because you got to bring that energy back. And just take a breath. It takes 2 minutes. Feel your body, literally just feel the energy that's coming through the body, because everything is energy. You can't see your Wi-Fi connections. You can't see what you're walking through. You don't know how that's
electricity, right? You can't see electricity.
Trust me, I've changed my whole life by doing these things. I'm telling you, I do these every day. And literally, I'm like, I feel it in my body. And then there's 2 things you can do with it. This will change your day. People that are bothering you, see them. All those people maybe at work or clients or whatever, and you need to shift the vibration, see them. And you literally, it's like an atomic bomb, like throw that energy into their field. Like just let it just blast out of every part of your body. I know it sounds weird.
Back at them? Is that what we're doing? Back at them?
Yeah, okay. You just throw it to them.
Okay.
Literally, because what's happening is their energy is so depleted, they start to deplete yours, which keeps you low. So if you do this and you first start with your activation, it will give them energy so they don't have to deplete you. So if you start walking into rooms and realize who's depleting, then you have actionable steps. Can I get a different job? Can I react differently to this boss? You start reading their body, right? You know, when you walk into rooms and people all of a sudden doing this, or they're like, you're like, oh my word, you know? And then you can also see people will start saying things and all of a sudden you might feel, oh my God, I feel like a loser. Oh my word, why did they say that? That's somebody trying to bring your energetic field down because they need to have an authoritative space. So if you do this one little tool, you'd be amazed. Now, I'm going to just reverse it one way. So you
All right, hold on a second. I got to break that down for the audience. And I'm telling you that we don't want to skirt over this because of the power of what you just gave people in this tool. We have these bracelets, which are honestly, they're just symbolic. They're the do it now bands. And it's the procrastination elimination machine. And it's just do it now, 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 7 times. And do it throughout the day. And pretty soon when they're thinking, oh, you know what? I'm really tired. I don't want to do this. The do it now fires up in their brain, their program, and they just do it now. They get it out of the way. They get it done. And so they don't have these accumulating tasks and things they have to do. They're lighter. They get more done. Right. And it's like, do it now is about as simple as it gets. This like circle in our chest. And I want to make sure I get this right because I'm not sure I got the third word. It says, I am searching.
Certain. I am certain.
Certain.
Power in that word. Certain.
I am certain. Yeah, certainty, a very powerful word. Yeah. I am certain without a shadow of a doubt that I love Michael J. Maher more than anything in the world. And that's how we're going to start our day. First love yourself. First love ourselves. Okay, let's just wrap it up. I'm telling you, this is the greatest podcast ever. And like, drop the mic, finish. I mean, like 5 minutes in or 10 minutes in, that's so key to everything, right?
Yeah. And it is because words are very powerful. And I had to learn to change my wording, I had 3 near-death experiences. I had to learn if I wanted to stay on the planet, what I'm telling you guys. And I reversed it all. And I'm telling you, words are so powerful. And that's why I am certain actually brings an energy of grounding, brings an energy of connection. Because what people forget as an intuitive, when I see, feel, hear, I go in and out. And, I had to learn to work with that. Because when you're in corporate, like I was in the VC world for how long? Like, right? And so you're like, okay, what am I seeing here? But when you learn your words and you ground and you start to realize, wait a minute, I have all this power, you will change your world. You will change your world. And I want to share one thing. They're telling me to share this with you guys. I had an incredible mentor in business, and I'm going to have to keep it private. You would all know the name. Anyways, I was very fortunate. And he said to me one day when I started to do these tools and energy and shift my life, he goes, where did you learn that? How did you learn that? So I explained where I learned and how I changed. And he said, they teach us that when we're little. They don't want you to know that I actually worry about you. Okay, everybody listening in business, ding, 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 ding. Yeah. You're always wondering why you didn't learn this in school. It will change your life. It will change your life.
Wow. And the thing that, here's what I love about this, is I know the power of words. I'm a wordsmith. I have studied words all my life. And people dismiss like the do it now. It's just, it can't be that simple. I am certain without a shadow of doubt that I love myself forever and ever, and, more than anything in the world. And it's like, people might think, oh, that's kind of woo-woo, or that, it's like, that's so whatever. And it's like, no, just try it for 30 days, because that's the only way to change the programming. There is somebody that told you weren't good enough, that you weren't an artist, that you weren't this, you weren't that. And you've been programmed to where we are, right? And the bottom line is, how do you change the programming? You change the program's words. I mean, that's how you change a computer program. You change the words. And what you're saying is that is so powerful. I hope everybody takes it and just does not, think because it's simple, it's not powerful. And the truth is, all that is simple is powerful.
It is. And it's really easy, because I call it the heart drive. That's why I say touch your heart. A lot of people tell me when they just use this one little tool, they start crying. And then they have memories of when they were little and they're like, I don't love myself. Oh my God. And they have emotions that come up. And why do I call it the hard drive? You just said it. Your body, people get mad when I say this, but I say your body is like a computer. That's why I call it the heart drive, equated to your hard drive. And you can take programs in and out, but you also have to be willing to do the next step. So like I said to you, if we're going to manifest and use this tool to bring something in to keep your vibration high, you're going to be tested. And you'll be tested in, are you willing to let go of that client and take a risk and jump over here? And now you're going to see. So when you raise your vibration, that test, 100%. I can't tell you how many people they've had to change their jobs. They have to leave their relationships. Yep. They're leaving their friends. And they're like, everybody thinks I'm horrible. I said, but this is how you get your new life. Because there was someone who once said, if you want to change your life, get rid of your family. They screwed you up. Well, you know what? I'm not saying you have to toss your family out. But what I am saying is, to change your vibration, you may have to step back to love yourself enough to say, what do you need to change to let go of the fear? And this tool sounds simple, but it's really, really powerful.
It is. And I'm telling you, this is key. And I love that I interchange the word hard and heart as well. I say, if it's heart work, it's not hard work. Right. So I love the, what's in your heart drive, what's in your heart drive right now, and how do we reprogram it to raise our energy and to raise our vibration. And I will tell you, here's what happens when you vibrate at a higher frequency. The benefit of this, like, what's the benefit of me doing this on a daily basis for 30 days or one day, is that when you vibrate at a higher frequency, you are going to attract others who vibrate at that frequency. It may happen sooner than you like or sooner than you're ready for, but you need to be ready for it, because it's kind of like in the movie, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Oh my God, I'm doing that reference. But it reminds me of the island of the misfit toys.
Oh yeah.
Right? And it's like, there was just this island of these misfit toys. But what's interesting is they're all misfit, but they're actually better. Rudolph is better than the typical reindeer. He has a red nose. It turned out to be a huge benefit in the snowstorm. And that's kind of what this is like, is you will find your next island of misfit toys and realize that the misfit really means you just don't fit with what used to fit. And now you got a new fit. And it's like a shirt, right? I don't wear a triple XL shirt anymore. It doesn't fit. It was damn comfortable. But you know what? I threw it away and now I'm in an XL. And you know what? When I first wore it, it wasn't all that. It's like, oh man, it's a little tight here, a little tight. Now it fits. I had to get rid of the 3XL and 2XL to get to the 1XL. And I'm telling you right now, the 1XL is where I need to be. So it's just one of those where I love what you're saying, because this is what happens when you vibrate at a higher frequency, is you're going to attract other things, other people, and other places that vibrate at a higher frequency. You're going to have a better life. So.
Way better. And things become easier. I used to think life had to be hard. And when I use the tools, when you sit in the vibration, you understand everything is energy, everything's connected. You also will find yourself getting rid of the victim mode very quickly, because you can actually say, okay, so this is what I hear from a lot of my community. They're no longer going, oh my God, I lost my job. They go, huh, what was good about that I learned? What can I take away? Now that means something better is coming.
Appreciation.
Yeah. So
right?
there's
bad or good, we need to be in appreciation. Right?
Yeah. Everything we've signed up for, everything that happens to us in life, we've signed up for it.
That's
so
right.
If you understand that, you can move through it quicker. If you can let go of that, you can move quicker. And that's where when you start actually the energy, because we say that life force energy. And if you want to use it to create, what I say to people is, look at the things you want to create. So say you want more clients. A lot of, we all get it as business people. That's one thing people will say to me. I want to open up to different clients or different opportunities. Do the same exercise, but this time, instead of blasting your light out to the people, drop the light and just maybe see it as, what does that picture look like with all the new clients? What are they? What do they look like? What do they do? And then bring that picture into your hard drive, bring it in and repeat. I always say, you say thank you. You got to thank spirit. So you always say either thank you, God, thank you, universe, thank you, divine, whatever works for you. Just thank powers to be, because you have them, and say, I believe it, I receive it, and I accept it all now. Say it 3 times.
I believe it, I receive it, I accept
it all now. Because it's already created.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is moving out people, places, and things that are used to your old vibration. But that's the hard jump where people will run back to their old vibration, because it's familiar, it's comfortable. So everyone says they want to win the lottery, but look at how many people win the lottery and lose it. They get a bump in the vibration and then they lose it. I see a lot of people right now that are going to go into huge financial prosperity. And I'm like, you better clean out this around the family, around the giving, like you want everyone to like you, so you're giving too much. He said, you better do that now or that money is going to drain. And they go, oh, I didn't even think about that. So if you're pleasing, if you're a fixer, so again, you raise your vibration, these people are not going to like you, and they won't, because they'll have to blame you or find a way to get you out of their vibration.
Right.
And you have to be okay with that, because you're right. You're going to a new place on a new island with people that resonate with you and get you. And I love that story. I always say that. I said, I'm great. I always say I was a misfit since I was born, and I'll take it all day long.
Same here, right? Steve Jobs, same way, right? I mean, it's one of those where we're all kind of little misfit, but maybe misfits better, in some way.
But we need misfits to change the world. If we were all just following like sheeples, guys, you got to understand this. You're in your businesses. You're in your place to change the world, to make it back to a loving, caring place, not this division we've been in. So if we are all just sheeples following, we're not. So your mission, everybody here that's listening to you and watching your podcast, everyone has a mission to be part of the puzzle of our whole planet to make it a better place.
That's right.
For all of us.
Right. So you talk about this life force energy.
Yeah.
How do we take control of that life force energy, that personal life force energy? How do we take control of personal energy?
This one is a practice. So that's the number one where I say for people to start. The next thing is you got to start asking yourself in your whole day, truthfully, how do I feel about this? Truthfully, how do I feel about that? Now, Truthfully, people don't usually say it like that. So it's a very strong word that will open. You can say to somebody, truthfully, are they telling me the truth? Watch what you guys find. Are they being truthful? Show me the truth about that person. That's a really powerful tool. You'll be like, oh my word. So first you have to do that and come within, because here's the thing. And really, really take, even at the end of the day, take stock if you want to say truthfully, how do I feel about this? Because you want to start to harness the energy and not let it seep out, right? And usually what this means, and this is the part of energy that people think is woo-woo, that is not. People look at energy work, and I like to just tell it like it is. There's a lot of woo-woo out there and a lot of weird stuff I would never touch. I look practical, what can you do? And because we're in real life. Mm-hmm. And people have a conception that we swirl the purple light and all is happy and roses and puppies and everybody says namaste. That is crap. That is all crap, guys. You're going to have a bad day. And when you start to harness what's going on within you, we call it dark nights of the soul. You will probably have some of the worst days of your life. You will be begging to check out. And I know, because I've been there many times and I was like, what is this? I thought this was roses and ponies and puppy dog tails. And when you start asking yourself truthfully, how do I feel about this or that? You got to get real. You'll probably start crying and you'll go, oh my God, I got to stop doing that. But what it will do, write it down, do it for 2 weeks. So you can really look at it and put the paper out and go, whoa, wait a minute. I need to change that behavior. I notice when I'm with this person, I don't feel good because they always, maybe they always make you pay. Maybe they take advantage of you. Maybe they put you down. But when you notice that and you start to say things like, I think I've got to exit that person, or, oh, I need to have a conversation. If they're not hearing you, and you create the boundary as your action step, which most people don't like, your energetic field actually gets stronger. Your field will get stronger. So, when you say difference of people like this and people like this, right? When you come at someone like that, they're like, oh, there's a vibration of here I am. When you see someone like this, it's a vibration. And usually most people like this, they're scared. They're holding their heart. Like, don't come near me. Right. So when you start that exercise, it actually brings the awareness very, very quickly. And being honest with ourselves is how you actually start to maintain the energy. And spirit's really funny. Every time you think you got something mastered, you're going to get a test. But the test is, and maybe it's a client that treats someone not very well and you got to let them go. Or maybe it's a relationship that didn't treat you very well. But it's showing, did you get it? Are you done with it? So we can move you into the next vibration. So I call it like snakes and ladders, as we're actually learning to harness our vibration. Remember that game, Snakes and Ladders? Yeah. You kind of go up the ladder and then you might hit the test and feel like you went back. You didn't go back. You can climb up the ladder very quickly by holding the energy. And the thing is, I always say to people, understand what your body is, what it's doing. And if you have illness in your body, if you have illness, you got to understand where those illnesses are connected, because that's also going to change your vibration. So if you have basic, lung issues, we know like respiratory is very hard breathing in life, anything respiratory, anything stomach digesting. Anybody's stomach issues, you're having a hard time digesting things in your life. And even basic stuff like that, you can go, oh, I got a stomachache today. What did I not like? What words did I swallow? Who pushed something? So you have to also remember, the more we strengthen the boundaries and the central nervous system energetically, then that energy can't be pushed into you. Because lots of people that want to bully you, they'll come up to you and they push their energy like this. But you can go and feel it and go, I'm not taking that in. I'm not taking that in.
That's right.
As soon as you say that, I'm not taking that in, it drops in front of you. Move your hand, not to their face, but even to the side. You're like, oh, I read that. I'm not taking it in. The more you repeat that, the body naturally goes, oh, he or she's not taking that in.
Love it.
You can go through these more challenging places where people are like, oh, I feel gross. There's something I want to say. People are so powerful. This is something your listeners might like. How many times have you walked into a room and now you go, oh, I feel so gross. I feel so bad. So you just took on the energy of the room. Why not change the perception? You're more powerful than that. You're going to walk into the room, take that exercise and blast your light out. You go in and change the room rather than you taking on their energy and feeling like poo. You just gave your power away. Every time you do that, your energy actually gets stronger. And those holes that I was talking about in the beginning, they can never be broken again.
That's interesting, because that has been something with speaking that I've learned to do, right? Is that in the beginning, I would feel the room and I would sometimes take it in. And, for the last 5 or 6 years, it's just been, I'm taking charge of the room and I'm just going to shine my light. And by the end of it, people tend to feel a lot more energetic and I feel fine instead of taking on the world, which can happen. And it's one of those where, my symbol for life is a lighthouse, right? What does a lighthouse not do? It doesn't run up and down the beach going, use me, use me, use me. I want to please you. No, a lighthouse stands strong and tall, shines the light, and those who need it, need the help of it, will use it. And those that don't, won't. And it's okay, And it's one of those where I'm telling you, this is great stuff. I love you have given even more power to words. These phrases are powerful. I'm not taking that in, right? I'm not taking that in. Even the nonverbal of just, saying it to yourself,
Yeah.
and just going hand up, right? And I'm not taking that, talk to
Or
the
even
hand.
turn your hand by your pant and in
Yeah.
your head. I'm not taking that in, take it back. Not
Yeah.
receive. If somebody comes at you and they want to say something, we've all seen it, authoritative business person or whatever, and they're trying to make you small. You look at them and smile and move your hand and you say, yeah, that's nice. Not taking it in. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can take that back. Not taking it in. And the more you say that, it's like a magic little wand. It's like if I put my hand right in your face and it stops your face, it'll stop the energy just by you going, yeah, not taking that in. That's interesting. Oh yeah, not taking that in. And you will regain your energy and your power and they can carry on and they don't need to wreck your day. Do never let anyone wreck your day.
Love it. So is that how you change your energy? Is that, that's kind of my next question is how do we change it? Like once we take control of it, which sounds like phrases and words and just this kind of attitude almost, right? And it's so how do we change our energy?
Well, I do teach people a lot how to actually communicate with the body. And those are like when I teach a lot, I teach them things that their body are telling them how you figure out, because I had to get rid of a lot of illnesses from birth. So I figured out how to talk to the body to get that stuff out of the body. So I do a lot of other like spaces like that. But when you're in general and you're walking down the street and you can help them. But one of the things I say to people, this is a really fun exercise, is the reason we get stuck in an old paradigm of energy and moving is our perceptions. And you know that, right? We get locked into a perception. So I say to people, if you take your hands and you put them on the side of your head, most people's perceptions are like this. They're very narrow, right? So, they can't see. As soon as they move their hands back, you have a whole table of things you can take from and perceive. So one of the things that I really say to people is if you're having trouble harnessing and changing something, also say to your body, thank spirit, always thank, you got to thank the powers to be. Again, don't care how you say it, but you must be in the gratitude all day. And then I actually say to people, increase your energy. Your body has, it's like a light switch. So when you move your hand up like this, you're actually increasing your energy and override to change your perception. So when you actually talk to the body and you're doing this, it feels it. Like people don't have an understanding that we have arms, we hug and we open our hands because it's part of our heart drive, right? So when you push your hand here, you're opening the energy field to allow that to go out to somebody else. And when you're like, I'm going to change my perception, what are you doing? You're overriding your heart drive to change your perception. Show me something this different about this I don't know. And then all of a sudden you're going to get different answers. Show me a creative solution. Give me a creative solution. Guys, it's weird. Talk in your car all day long if you need to start. And then there's things you can do as you sort of get more grounded into the body and understanding. You'll be surprised how many people, when I start to teach them like what the organs and stuff are doing, they're like, oh, Trace, I went to this business meeting. I have a lot of CEOs. They're like, I went and I noticed I was looking at my group of people, my VPs, and they're like, I was feeling sick and something wasn't right. And I'm sitting there going, show me the truth about what's really going on in here. And all of a sudden they would find out things about their staff they didn't know, but they would make the changes. And then they're like, what? And they're working on their energy top down. They're creating more positivity. And I've had people come back to me and say, oh my God, our revenue is up like 40%. We have been struggling with this and we're not doing anything other than these weird little things you tell us to do, but they incorporate them. And when you incorporate them and you start to realize, because businesses, for all of you in your business world, your family is a family. You grew up with that. Your business world is a family. It's a unit. Why do you think you leave high school? You go into another high school when you go into your business, when you work for somebody. So you're changing your businesses to make sure if your energy is strong and you can hold it, it'll go top down. You will not have to go searching for clients. You will just do that little tool. You'll see them come in and you'll realize that, oh my gosh, I have a stomach ache. My hip went out. I got a shoulder pain. What's going on? And when you learn what those are, change the energy, you will change your life and everybody around you.
So how can your energy affect the things that happen in your day?
So if you are waking up and you're very grumpy, we'll go with both. Here's the things I notice. So if you're waking up and you're like complaining about everything and you're really grumpy, you create a resistance energy. So it's like a band, right? And it's resisting. So you will naturally keep sending out that vibration. So you're going to run into more challenges. You're going to run into more issues. You're going to run into more problems. That's what we call the spirit of resistance. And a lot of people live in that because they're afraid to let it go. Again, it becomes comfortable. You know it, whether it's a job or whether it's, people, places, things. So bad relationships, we stay in them because we know it. It's comfortable, right? Across the board. When you actually wake up and you have an awareness of the body and you're going out about your day and you're like, well, I get up and I'm like, I live in a place where we have worse traffic than LA, right? And I always get up and people say, I love driving with you. I'm like, I never end up in traffic or very little. I'm like, yeah, because I get up and I'm like, I expect I'm going to go out and I'm going to have a great drive. If I do have to sit in traffic for a little bit, that's okay. And if I do have to sit a bit, I'm like, what am I listening to? I'm having conversations. I'm using that time to connect. Things will go smoother. And here's the thing too. And this is a simple, go out and everyone you meet, do this for 30 days. You will change your life. And this is a simple, fun tool I tell people. Every day, everyone you meet, you smile at them, you say hello, you send them good energy, like literally out of your heart, you send them good energy. And you say things like, wow, that haircut looks great on you. Or let me open the door for you. See how much you can keep giving all day long. Go in and the old thing, buy someone a coffee, don't tell them. But every day, don't let someone pass you, even if they're grumpy. I always smile at them and I say, have a great day. And I throw them lots of good energy. And I have people walk by me stone cold. They won't say anything, like weirdo lady and her dog. But I'm going to tell you, it will fill you, because what will happen is now your energetic body is raising and shifting and you'll be able to maintain it in a day. So if somebody tried to derail you and you need to go in your car, I teach this little tool where you just tap the heart and you just say, okay, I say, thank you, God. You say, universe, divine, spirit, just reset, let go. Thank you, God, release, let go. What it does when you tap it and ask it to release, let go, it goes through the central nervous system and it'll pull the anxiety out. It'll pull the frustration. Your energy will turn around really quickly and you'll find your day will get better. And also watch your day. So try it. If you do it really well for an hour, don't beat yourself up. Awesome. Did it. I did it for an hour. Pat yourself in the back.
That's right.
Again, it's about coming back in because we've been programmed since birth. Everything is out here. But we all know it's in here. And people say, well, that's hooey wooey. I said, well, if it was hooey wooey, I'd be dead today. So, okay, you can say it's hooey wooey. Yeah.
So you talk about taking on someone else's energy, right? How do we know if it's our energy or if we've taken on somebody else's energy? How do we know if we need to really raise our energy, or it's just like, oh man, we've taken on this person's energy or this place's energy or this thing's energy? And what do we do when that happens?
Yeah. So that goes back to when you think you've taken on someone's energy, do your check-in in the morning. If you are waking up in the morning grumpy and miserable, start there. Something has to change in your home right away. Your home is always your sanctuary. I teach people how to clean out negative energy in their home. I teach them how to, connect with your home should always be your safe place. So if you are waking up very miserable or you're feeling sick, you got to go within. Something has to change in your home environment. Or if you have illnesses, you got to really go within and find out what was the root of causing these illnesses. Because illnesses show up much later when we've neglected energetic issues that are going on. Unless you were a child like me, it's different. So that's how you start. Now, if you leave the house and you're like, you get up and you say, I feel great. I'm feeling really good. See you later, honey. Having a great day. And note it, you have to have that awareness. As soon as you feel, just check in every place you went. If you feel it drops, you just picked up something from somebody else. And that is where, when you know you've picked it up, that's where you actually, I always say to people, just kind of sweep yourself, like sweep yourself
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And I just kind of go, okay,
I
I'm
love that. I love
yeah.
the nonverbal. And by the way, if you're a listener not watching right now, she took her hand. Oh, it's almost like shooing flies away from you, or just kind of pushing things away from you without actually having the things, right. But you're
Yeah.
kind of pushing it out away from your body. I love that nonverbal.
It is. And you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to send that back to you and just reset and let go. Just sit for a minute. And you can run to the bathroom if you need to. You're like, okay, I took in their energy, and then go back to the tool where you're going to push your energy out. I'm not going to allow them to affect me. If they affect you, and do this with everywhere you go, because you might find you go to another meeting, you feel great. So, you shared, you had a nice reciprocal energy. And so I say to people, and you can also, when you do energy work, a lot of times, because my voice and the way I move my hands is always shifting 24/7. People know, they know it. They're like constantly, why do I feel so tired? I'm like, because we just raised your vibration. So now your physical body's catching up to your vibration. So if you're doing a lot of this work, sometimes you might sleep for a day or two. Like I have clients who are like, I slept for 3 days. I'm like, yeah, how do you feel now? Amazing. I'm like, body's just catching up. So you can move it. And once you have those awarenesses, then when you go home, you really got to go within, and you got to really decide, again, making that actionable step of, do you need to change the setup that you're in? And are you okay? Because fear is the number one driver. We know for so often for people. And once we really learn to remove that, then your life is really golden. Like, I don't fear anything. People say, do you fear death? I'm like, no, I died almost 3 times. I did die 3 times and came back. I'm like, I don't know. It's actually quite nice over there. I don't have the fear. But when we have a little bit of it, you can also use it to raise your energy to push through. And your field will always work with you. Your energetic field will not work against you. One thing I said to somebody today, one of my clients, I said to her, stop allowing people to take control of your energy. Because when you know they come in, you get in a tailspin. So you're giving them your power. And that's using the tools. And I said, just start with the little tools, and you're going to find a big shift.
So what is one simple tool that anyone could apply right now to change their energy? What's another tool that you've already given us several, but what's another tool that we could use?
Yeah, well, you can do the no, you can do the reset, let go. Yeah. You can do the sweeping. That one works really, really well. The manifesting, this is really my favorite one. You can do it while you drive, believe it or not. So this one's kind of fun too. If you want to clean up.
Wait, are we going to have to put a disclaimer on the show right now?
Yeah, you shouldn't do these and
drive. Because there are people who are listening right now while they're driving. So
that's okay. That's okay. But if you're going to do the tools, please don't drive. I've had people. Right. I had a lady, she called me once and she says, you said don't drive? So I was riding my bike listening to this call you were doing. She goes, I fell off my bike. And I'm like, oh, no, you'll get dizzy, because sometimes you can get dizzy.
Right. No bike riding, no unicycle riding. Yeah, no. Even if you're on a stationary bike in a gym, you might want to stop pedaling for a couple of minutes to try this exercise. So, all right, what is this?
Because if you want to actually raise your vibration, or you want to send something to somebody, or anything you feel that's it's kind of fun, because you can use your words and you can play with it. You listen to your good music. Is I say, when you've dropped that light within you, you've done the circle, and then you've dropped it. Say you want to create something. This is why I say it's fun when you drive. You're like, I'm going to drop it over this, and then you make that sound, like the ping sound. You're like a ping. Yep. And just see the energies come together. And you will be surprised, even with yourself, if you do that. And you could say, my energy feels low. I want to increase it. You pull your hand up like that. I'm going to increase it, like you're pulling it up, right? Anything you want, you pull up. Anything you don't want, you push out. So if you increased it, and then you go, oh, I want to bring that in, and you have fun with yourself. Obviously in the car, people think you're crazy, but I'm going to ping that in. And the sound of the ping, actually, when you go ping, it brings the energy together. So it looks like an extension cord plugging into the other end. And now you've just made the connection to that. And if you start driving, you'll notice, people tell me, they're like, I've done that. And all of a sudden I drove by a house that I was dreaming of, that I wanted. And they're like, and then you know what? I got these other business opportunities. I had one lady, she says to me, I was trying to get a job. And I tell her to do these exercises. I said, there's all these opportunities. Why are you missing them? I don't know. And now she calls me and goes, oh, what did I do? I got 7 offers. Well, and she goes, I didn't have to really do anything. I said, well, you just put out your resume, but I said, you were pinging, right? And she's like, yeah, I was pinging. And I'm like, it's here now. So I believe a lot of people in energy work thinks it has to be boring and you're meditating all day long. It's actually
Or
not.
it's too woo woo, right? Or they think it's just something out. I mean, they don't see the power in words and sentences and some nonverbals, right?
And the nonverbals and understanding to communicate with your body. I'm all about practical tools and you got to have fun. You just, the more, because I take it as play.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me the other day, do you take vacations? Like you had a very little vacation. And I said, well, I still plug in. I don't need a vacation. I play all day long. I don't need a vacation from my work because I love what I do. You take a vacation when you don't love what you do.
It's not hard work when it's heart work.
Exactly.
Right. So, all right. So this has been first of all, how do people get in touch with you, get your books, get more information on working with you, that kind of thing?
It's tracylclark.com and everything. We do have a pretty large website. Everything is there and it's all in place. And a lot of times too, I say to people, if you want to get to know a little bit more, hop on. I have a free Telegram. I have a free membership group where people can start and learn and listen to things and just start there if they want to just practice. And then you'll see how you graduate. I do call it an academy because I will shift things with my groups, but every day I'm giving you different tools. I'm there 7 days a week pretty much because I believe that my job is to empower. My job is to give you the tools because if you can go out and do it yourself, then you will change your family, you will change your businesses, you will change your life. And together, as we're all doing it, we become a better world.
Amen. That's it. And by the way, it's Tracy L. Clark, TRACY L Clark, CLARK.com. You can join the TLC tribe sooner than later, as in right now. Go check out TracyLClark.com. I have actually a like personal question. I mean, maybe it's not personal, but it's very strong in my life. Is we help business owners build their businesses based on love, generosity, and appreciation. What are the vibrational powers, in your opinion, of those words? Because I don't think I started with any context other than that's how I built my business. But we are finding people like literally in tears, literally laughing uncontrollably about their lives because of living their life in love, generosity, and appreciation using the strategies that we teach. Like, can you talk a little bit about like those three words and the power that they have from your research?
Yeah, well, and it goes exactly back to the three biggest keys that people forget, the simple words, right? And you said it, love, gratitude, and play are the highest vibrations to shift your reality. And you're doing that. You're coming from love. How can I help you? Like, what do you require? What do you need? Now, there's also in that, right? You can only take them so far. They have to show up. And that's my caveat. I will be there for you all day long, but you got to keep showing up and changing, right? I don't do well with people after 6 months and they want to keep whining about the same thing because that's not going to happen. But you come from love. So, and then your generosity, which is also giving and gratitude, right? You must always give to receive. And this comes in any area of your life. It's not, people think it's money. I'm like, it's not just your money, guys. It is your time. It is your energy. The more you're even giving with that, even your energy, it comes like this. Spirit loves the exact words that you're saying, right? And so then when you have this appreciation and you're in that gratitude, why are people crying? The same reason I see it. They're in the play. They realize that life becomes playful. Life is joyous. Life is not, and this is where we're moving to. This is a new earth that everyone's talking about, going, what's going on in the world? Oh my God, it's, been taken over by aliens. Yeah. Guys, it's been dismantled. So we can move into the heart center between now and 2025, and then we'll have more between 25 and 30, and it's in exactly what you're saying, because love got taken out of our businesses, right? They become working slave machines. So it's now being required to be put back in. Appreciation and gratitude got taken out of the business world because they wanted you enslaved. It's all ending, guys. So what you're doing, the vibrations are the top three vibrations, and you're very connected and you can see it in your field. You want to see a better world. This is why we all do what we do, because we were incarnated. Everybody listening, I'm going to say this, you were brought into this earth during this time to help shift the world. And you do it by love, and you do it by generosity. You do it by gratitude and appreciation. And the more we get that, and again, you'd be surprised. I want to share this story one time is we do these Christmas give back. So every year we find families in need. And the first time we did it, people brought food. And I was like, oh, like who wants Spam? Like, come on, these people want turkeys and good food. It was really kind of weird, right?
Yes, yeah.
So the next year I changed it. And so this family we helped, we gave them things that they needed and money. And the one person donated this big bag of pennies. Now, where I live, we don't have pennies anymore, but the pennies. And the lady said, this lady's whole life has changed. She said, I looked at the pennies and I went to my husband, who would get pennies? And she goes, I realized I had a bad attitude. And she said, do you know that those pennies one day gave us the exact amount of money we needed to buy some bread and milk?
Oh, wow.
We didn't know how we were going to pay. And she said, I broke down in tears, and her whole life changed from that moment. Because the generosity, even though there was other stuff in there and other money, she was like, she sneered at the pennies. So then
the bag of pennies changed the life.
Changed her life, and her gratitude shifted. And she was like, oh my gosh, well, she's the biggest giver you'll ever meet anymore. Like literally, like she's out there in the world helping, changing people's lives because somebody did that little thing for her. And I'm telling you guys, I got goosebumps because you will change someone's life, and you don't even need to know if you did change it. And that's the thing that you're doing. That's the generosity part. You do it because you feel it in your body. You're not looking for anything in return. No obligation.
No, that's awesome. I have to ask you, and I'm sure I'm going to get questions like, where do you live that you don't use pennies?
Oh, I live up in, I live just connected to Toronto in Canada.
So Canada doesn't use pennies anymore?
We haven't had pennies for a couple of years. No pennies.
Why is Canada so much smarter than the United States? You know, it costs like 2 cents to make a penny.
Yeah, okay. But,
think about that for a second.
But if you use debit or whatever, you're paying the exact. If people want to use cash, they round up. So you'll lose a little bit here and there.
Okay.
But I don't mind not having pennies, actually. But you guys have dollar bills. We have coins for everything. We have toonies for a $2 bill and loonies. You want to see what happens in your purse? Yeah. We got a lot
It's a workout. It's a workout to carry the Canadian money. I'm telling you. That's why all the Canadians are just stronger. It's all good.
I don't know. We're all in our own.
You know how Canada got their name, right?
No.
You didn't know this? So what they did when they were forming the country is they had this hat with all the letters of the alphabet in it. Okay. So they were there and they drew the first letter and they go, C, A. And the next letter was N, A. And the next one was D, A. And American was the one writing down the name and they go Canada. It's Canada. I love that name. And that's how Canada got their name.
Oh.
So, A.
Yeah.
You probably hear, how often do you hear the word A?
Actually, not as much as people. And everybody asks, they all think I'm American. It's crazy. Yeah. They're all like, what state do you live in?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I have enjoyed the living heck out of this conversation. Here's what I love. I love the affirmations and the phrases, and I love the nonverbals. It's so practical and tactical instead of so much of the stuff out there on energy is like you said, it's crap. I mean, I'm a fairly intelligent human being with a big giant reading background, and it just like that's not it. Like that's not what it really comes down to. But I tend to get into genuine curiosity and instead of judgment. If it worked for them, then it works for them. It's great. But I love what you're sharing with us today because these are instantly applicable. I would encourage people to literally tomorrow morning get up and say, I am certain without a shadow of a doubt, I love Michael J. Maher more than anyone else in the world. No, and I want you to use the words Michael J. Maher. I don't want you to use your own name. I want you to use Michael J. Maher in that tomorrow morning, and let's see how you feel about that. I'm telling you, I feel better already. I'm already more energized that we've got 15,000 people tomorrow morning waking up saying that they love me more than anything in the world.
You're going to be feeling good tomorrow.
I feel strong. Let's go. All right. So I'm telling you, thank you so much for being our guest today here on the Referrals podcast, Tracy Clark. It's been fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. I can't thank you all enough. And I hope you guys will start using the tools. And one of the things, just if I could say, I had to go learn the science behind what I'm telling you because I didn't believe in any of this either. I thought it was fully wooey. I knew I was different. And then when I let go of the science and understood what was going on, but please be discerning because you're in charge of you all the time. And the person that's most valuable is you, and never give away your power or authority to somebody else.
The MVP is you. The most valuable player, the most valuable person is you. I love that. First, love yourself. Fly. First, love yourself. Check out Tracy L. Clark at tracylclark.com. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to our Referral Podcast episode. Go to referralspodcast.com for downloads from every single episode. And remember, we want to see you and hug you at Referral Mastery Summit 22, rms22.com. in Orlando, Florida. You can go to the event and then take your kids to Disney or Universal or any of the great things around Orlando, September 27th through the 29th. We hope to see you there. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time, and you will not believe this next podcast. You will not believe what we're going to share with you next week. You got to tune in to see it. I can't wait to share it with you. We'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.